horror movie?
What?
Let's make a movie?
I wonder what we'll be like then. Brains in jars, I'm going to guess.
We're a long way for God now, son.
Slowly
Coming out of his mouth.
crawling out
Yeah,
of his
that's
mouth,
fucking
stretching
cool.
his skin.
Nice. So he doesn't save them, the bridge goes down, people die, and he's like, oh well, job done. Clarence?
Can we try take two again?
Yeah. All I'm saying is maybe don't trust sentient hats to make life-changing decisions, but...
Thanks for your correspondence, JDubz.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Let's Make a Horror Movie Podcast, episode 18, to be precise. I'm Dave, and this is John.
Hello.
Okay. Terrible idea for a way to introduce. But there we go. Sometimes you choose a direction, and then you get sort of stuck in that direction.
But you have to commit, and you did that.
And that's it. And I think that, in many ways, is the most important thing.
Yeah. History will be kind to it.
Anyway, folks, thanks for joining us. This is the slightly absurd, silly, morbidly glib, frequently coarse, I'm afraid, often a bit crass,
a bit sweary,
fortnightly horror movie pitch creation podcast. It's in 4 acts. The first act, John and I get feedback from the listening audience on last week's pitch.
Which was my pitch, a sequel to one of yours.
Yeah, which was John's
Scottish one.
Yeah, Knuckle Abbey Country, sequel to episode 4, so that's pretty exciting. We'll see what's come in the proverbial mailbag.
Yeah.
No, metaphorical mailbag? Metaphorical mailbag.
Yeah, no, I think it would be a metaphorical
Yeah. Doesn't sound as good as proverbial.
No, it doesn't. It sounds shit.
Tell you what, if I create a proverb about mailbags, that's all it really is needed, surely, to become proverbial.
Go on then.
Never trust an empty mailbag on a Monday morning.
What?
Think about it. It should be full on a Monday morning, John.
I suppose it should be, yeah.
Anyway.
But never trust. What are you worried about?
Look, we're getting off topic. This you can hear more about this on Proverbs with Dave and John, which is our other sister podcast.
Yeah, it's a good one, that.
And we'll talk about that more in Act 4. So Act 2 is... Act 2 will take a quick... take a quick stroll around the cultural grounds of stuff we've been doing in the last couple of weeks.
All of culture.
All the culture. Yeah, I think we're done.
Ticked all the boxes.
Hey y'all! Welcome to Act 1! I'll have to take that down a touch in the edit.
It's a bit brash, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah. Isn't it? That guy needs to just calm down.
He does. Now take that city red hat off.
This is the section of the podcast where we get listener feedback.
I'm looking forward to it.
Because what I didn't say in the intro is that the point of this podcast is that one of us comes with like a sketch of a horror movie that we'd like to see. Yeah. And then not only does the other host sort of interject with ideas and thoughts and suggestions, but we then ask the audience to write in with theirs.
You are to paint on our canvas.
Right. So North of the Wall correspondent, Mothman educated... I've done that the wrong way around, haven't I? I normally do the other way around, but hey... Mothman educated JDubz.
Yeah, we're pretty loose around here.
We're fast and loose. Yeah. Fast and loose.
I'm looking forward to this feedback because he is obviously, like yourself, a Scot. And I'm looking forward to
that's right, because it was a Scottish play.
It was very Scottish and I was nervous about that.
Well, the subject line is peak facepalm.
Okay.
So...
I'm assuming that's a thumbs up in Scotland,
I don't know if that bodes well or not. Hello to the last bear and 3DK.
Hello.
Pronounced John. Honestly, what's the point in trying to help the clarity of this feedback? I provide some nice explanations to my references in square brackets to save you wearing out Google, and you skip over them, read them out, misunderstand them, and generally bungle the job worse than a fat cat burglar wearing clown shoes.
I'm sitting right here, mate.
Here's an experiment to see if you understand the format. Practice your silent reading for the square brackets below and apply the information to the subsequent text. This experiment also serves to give you an insight into the workings of my brain. When I start penning feedback, I have the following loop of lyrics in my head. Fucking hell. I'm not singing these things, JDubz. All the square brackets are like, sing this to the tune of Got Your Money by fucking featuring Kellis by ODB.
But aren't you proving his right by not doing it? Because he says you always mess it up by not doing this.
Well, I'm sorry. This one I've truly cocked up, but only because I don't want to subject anyone to my singing voice.
You got a lovely singing voice.
Not without my lute.
Oh, of course. You're quite the bard.
Exactly. I wouldn't try and hit a note without my lute. So anyway, he says, apart from asking me to sing in square brackets, ODB, and then telling me to repeat that on a loop, he says, interesting that this puts me in the Kellis role, or Khalees, role. Fucking hell.
Dave, you're doing really well, mate. Keep going.
Yeah. So, interesting that this puts me in the Khalees role to the podcast's ODB, but I'll leave that Freudian mess there.
I have no idea what that reference is. Oh, dirty bastard? Is that what we're aiming for?
So, now, my music knowledge is intricate and detailed up until about 2001.
I'm not sure you can say that. I would say 89, to be honest, mate.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, you smash it before that. You really do.
Well, anyway, I know who Khalees is. I mean, ODB could be old dirty bastard.
Must be, right?
I think the more we discuss it, the more we come across like ignorant fools.
Yeah. I mean, that would break the whole of
the whole thing. Disastrous.
Seen behind the curtain.
All the financial backers would withdraw all their money.
Yeah, all of my online stock advice.
I'd have to give back that Aston Martin. I've been doing a bit of a Norton with the money, I don't know if you've been following the Norton motorcycle scam. No? Oh, well, they took a load of money, bought a load of supercars, and then we're like, oh, we don't have any money.
Well.
And now they're bust.
Shit.
So he says, feedback on feedback. A lot of good responses to my queries. Appreciated.
Oh.
Personal highlight was the Brexit Phantom Menace comparison. Oh yes, because you said the trade negotiations were at the beginning of the Phantom Menace, which you're absolutely right. Regarding the pitch, very much enjoyed the use of the clearances as the setting, and also avoiding the usual cliches in the portrayal of the soldiers. Thought the story was great. The conclusion very much leaving the door open for Trilogy Month.
Yeah.
Pre-Gregorian name for the month of July.
Yeah.
Sounds about right to me, JDubz. Yeah. Good callbacks to the first film, although it really focused on the cold open of the first film.
It did.
I think some flashbacks might weave the stories together more.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I like the priest and Annie in the first film, and it would be good to hear more of them either in flashback or a few years on if they survived. I presume, per my feedback on the original film, all the parts, Pertwee aside, are still played by Maggie Smith as McGonagall, including the big man.
Oh, of course.
FYI, Pertwee does a lot of voiceover work for both TV and games. Peace and love, JDubz.
That's great feedback. I think he's completely bang on, actually, because I think it was on cast that I mentioned it. But one of the things that I couldn't really get to fit in, but was very much in my head, was that the clearances had forced the creature itself to leave its home.
Yes.
In a kind of mirroring what was happening with Scotland. Yeah. And then it was causing havoc as it was moving.
Yeah.
And I think you could definitely do flashbacks where you tied the end of the last one with the start of the clearances.
Before you get carried away, I would just remind both you and JDubz that my original film pitch was set, I think, in 1500s.
Yeah, so...
And your one was set 1850s, roughly. Yes. So...
There isn't too much time, though, between the start... I mean, because...
More than one person's lifetime.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah,
so you wouldn't be able to have, like, old Annie and old priests from the first one.
I think the first flashback would be tying off the Annie storyline, and then have another check-in, maybe at the start of the clearances, when it's a lot more violent and stuff, and then it taking advantage of it. And then when the blight hits, it starts to move. You could do stuff with that.
Certainly think, I suppose what you could have done, because your cold open introduced the contemporaneous location, whereas what you could have done was used your cold open as perhaps a flashback or a montage of flashback as the Knuckle Abbey makes its way down.
Yeah. The only reason that I put the start in that I did was because I was talking to my wife about how horrible it would be to bite your own wrists. And that made her feel really sick. So I thought, well, I've got to write it down, because if it makes her feel kind of awful, that's sort of...
Is that a euphemism? A wrist biter? I feel like that's a euphemism.
It must be. Yeah.
It sounds like one.
Yeah. I mean, there is ankle bite, and it says it's the ankle of the hand.
It's the ankle of the upper torso.
Yeah. So,
everyone says that.
Yeah. So the whole idea of biting your arm ankles was really just...
hand ankles.
Yeah, hand ankles. Yeah. Was just because it turned my wife's stomach, and I thought, well, it's got to be good then, isn't it?
I don't know whether you need to change the intro or whether you could do that in another way. I think it's a nice idea, but I don't know if it definitely requires it.
If I can give a little secret of my process, if you will. Because it's a process.
Go on. Let's have an insight.
Yeah, inside a writer's studio.
Pencils out, kids.
I write two kinds of intros. One is one to just to tell myself what it's about. So this is what that one was. To get myself in a tone.
Yeah, you starting.
It's me going, what do I want this to be?
Yeah.
Blood.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
And sometimes the prologue comes in purely as an introduction to a character. So there's two different kinds, and that one was very much a tone one. So you could easily change it.
Well, he signs off Bear's Den Big Man, which is a place in Glasgow. But it doesn't have quite the same ring, because it'd be more like, "Ooh, I'm the Bear's Den Big Man." It's that kind of an accent.
It sounds
you get.
lovely.
Hello, I'm the Bear's Den Big Man.
Genuinely a little bit.
I'm here to check the pipes. I don't know why.
Genuinely working for me a little bit.
So that's actually all the feedback I had. Thanks, JDubz. Everyone's obviously been busy with...
it's a busy old day.
With the beginning of February.
Yeah.
First 2 weeks of Feb. Everyone's prepping for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I assume you've done all the requisite prep.
Ordered something, it turned up smashed.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It was just plates. It's the classic Valentine's plates.
Smashed plates.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I ordered them smashed, but not that smashed.
They're easier to get in the dishwasher if they've been smashed.
I'd been better if I'd said that I'd ordered her smash. And it turned up smashed. And it was... okay, maybe it wasn't
better. I don't know if that would have been better. Write in, tell us what you think. Oh, yeah.
No escape.
I did mean to say, we asked for feedback on pictures.
Yeah.
Or just the general bullshit that we talk about. Feel free to feedback to that. I mean, the Hollyoaks conversation a couple episodes back got a lot of traction.
Lit a real fire under people.
So, feel free. Yeah. And also, don't feel like you can only reply to, the previous episode.
Yeah.
You can just chuck any old shit at us from any episode, and we'll gladly kind of update the pitch or the idea and have a chinwag about it. But the point of my little ramble is that you can email us at letsmakeahorrormovie@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. You can tweet us at LMAHMPod, which is LMAHM pod. Mm-hmm. You can Instagram us at Let's Make a Horror Movie, and you can rate and review us on whatever platform you're listening to. I mean, iTunes is nice.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a thing anymore. Apple Podcasts, I think it is now, is it?
It might. Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah. So that.
Yeah.
So get in touch. But that's about it. Back to Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So sacrificial stuff mainly for you.
Pretty much. Yeah. Just things to smash and break.
Blood gods. The whole shebang.
Yeah. A load of very small mice.
I'm working. That's my angle this year, because normally I sacrifice a goat, and
it's classic, isn't it?
I think that's where I've been going wrong.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was a classic. Yeah. I thought we can't go wrong with a goat. Goat's blood.
Yeah.
Bathe in that.
Of course.
I mean, it's old as time.
Yeah. Some things last for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's one of them.
Yeah. But last couple of years, not really working for me.
No.
Not really working. So I mushed 100 cats through a blender. That's what I've done. Because I figured...
Very much of a modern twist.
Yeah. I went infernal.
Yeah.
Because Baphomet, I'm sure, is... Or what is that? Am I saying that right? Is it Baphomet or Baphomet?
I've always
whatever
said
you want.
Baphomet.
But I figured if the goat isn't doing it for you, mate, how about a bunch of cats?
Yeah. Try some cats out. And also, the movie Cats came out, and that was a bit like 100 Cats being slaughtered.
I thought, theme it, maybe he wants to do a sort of 101 Dalmatians, but with cats. With minced cats.
Yeah.
But they'd probably be whole again when
I must admit, your spec script for 101 Dalmatians was strong stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I mean...
It wasn't even for the coats.
It was grim. It was grim. The thing about that was that a lot of what was in that script has never been committed to film before.
Yeah. Yeah, you were quite a bold visionary.
And so,
quite an auteur.
And so it's difficult to know really whether you get distribution.
Yeah.
Or get funding. I'll get funding. All right.
I think it was quite bold how you had the third discarded in Act 1. And it wasn't about that anymore. It was just purely meat. Which is a real twist on it.
Blood and Cum, that was the title.
101 Dalmatians, Blood and Cum.
101 Cats.
Yeah, of course.
101 Cat Coat. Blood and Cum. Okay, well that's awful. Hey y'all, welcome to Act 2.
It sounds like an interim. He's had some bad news.
He's had some real bad news, actually, yeah.
Something's really taken the life out of him, isn't it?
Real bad. I can't tell you about it, though. I can't. I want to tell you all about it, but I cannot.
It's too fresh, isn't it?
It's all just a little bit much at the moment. So take a bit of time. I need a bit of time. Anyway, y'all want to kick off?
I'm still working through Adam Neville's back catalogue, so to speak. Very much. I'm now on
his bat catalogue.
Yeah, clever. You listen, Adam.
So, what kind of bats does he sell?
I mean.
Is this from his shop? Bats Amazing.
Yeah.
I've used them before. I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a good thing. He doesn't trade on his name. He trades on the bats alone.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, the quality of the bats that he sells at Bats
Speak for
Amazing.
themselves.
They sell like warm through cakes.
Yeah, they do.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Those bats are flying off the shelf.
I
think that's that bit done.
Got no more bat puns in the back pocket.
So yeah, I'm now on Banquet of the Damned. Really good. To be honest, his writing style is phenomenal. If you like horror or you like good British writing, go for it. He's fantastic. He's generally probably my favourite modern British horror writer right now.
Nice.
Yeah, he's really good. Really, really good.
No, that's great. I need to get them added to my reading list, as I said before, and I will do that. I'm just finishing Joanne M. Harris's Gospel of Loki, which is very enjoyable.
Yeah.
If you're really, really familiar with the Norse myths, then it might not be quite the most exciting book you've ever read.
Cool.
But if they're still sort of fresh to you, then it's real fun. She puts a lot of personality into Loki, which is a lot of fun to read. But besides that, I haven't really done much. I was going to say that Ben Aranovich's new novel, False Value, which I got wrong in a previous episode, is out, I think, either this week or next week, depending on where you're listening to this. And I mean where, not when, because seemingly you can already get it in some bookshops. So False Value, for anyone, I can't remember what episode it is, but we went on at length about how great the Rivers of London books are, and there's an absolute shit ton of them now. I don't know, is this number 8 maybe?
I think so, yeah.
They're all great. Obviously starting beginning. Graphic novels and novellas that all tie into this story that he's built, so get involved, and then you can go and buy False Value out next week.
Cool.
On our Pertwee watch, Pertwee Peak.
Yeah, I like that.
Our fortnightly peek at Pertwee.
Yeah.
Episode 1 of The Pale Horse is already on iPlayer.
Yeah, I'm watching it. I'm really excited.
I haven't watched it either, so...
I've heard great things, though. Really good feedback.
Excited about it.
On Monday, I watched Birds of Prey. A Harlequin film. Fucking brilliant.
Wow.
9 out of 10 I'd give it, easily. Alright, it's got...
John's instantly defending himself because I raised an eyebrow. That's all I did. I raised an eyebrow.
I mean, that would have come across in the silence.
It was... Obviously, maybe I should just verbalise that.
Yeah.
Dave raises eyebrow. Like, you get visually impaired.
You want some, Foley work, maybe, to do, to break some celery.
John shrugs his shoulders. Dave raises an eyebrow and puts his cigarette out. Sorry, that's the kind of thing you get over the TV.
So that all leads nicely onto Birds of Prey.
Which was an quote easy 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it is. It's got the 2 best leg breaking scenes in any movie I've ever seen.
That's a strong
recommendation. And I've seen both raids. And it is. I'll tell you off mic.
Now, are we excluding Misery from that because that's foot wrists as opposed to
it is
because it's foot wrists as opposed to full legs? Is it? I don't know, but I haven't seen Birds of Prey. So, do
you know what? One of the 2 best leg breaking scenes isn't as good as Misery. The other one is better. But then the context. That's an amazing film. Misery's
James Caan.
It's a full 10 out of 10. We all know this. No, Birds of Prey, go and see it, guys. It's fantastic. It's really fun. It's really well made.
Nice.
I like it. She had a Zulu themed birthday party last year. Not many parents stayed for that one. Everybody RSVP'd, but not many of them stayed to the cake.
No. Did a lot of them come in fancy dress, or did they?
No, a lot of them made us a point not to, and made a point to tell us that.
Fair enough.
Still, more cake for us.
Exactly. It goes a bit against the idea of a fancy dress party, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, those parents, where's the sense of adventure?
Yeah, you can't do Paw Patrol every year.
Yeah, also it's historical.
It's our finest hour.
They'll do the nativity, won't they? They'll do the nativity at school at Christmas.
Yeah,
but they won't do bloody Zulu.
Country's gone mad.
Double standards.
Yeah,
Jesus was a black man,
Yeah,
or at least a Middle Eastern man.
But now we've got control back. It's all going to change.
But they're like, oh no, we can't dress him up as Zulus.
Yeah, your Zulu Jesus character was a lot.
Zulu Jesus is I didn't think you'd bring that up, to be honest, John. That was
well received.
That's a screenplay from before Le Mans Pod's time, Zulu Jesus.
I think the Times called it the worst one-man play they've ever seen.
I did it as well, I mean, it was written as for Michael Caine.
He was desperate to do it.
His agent stepped in. It all started. I got a letter from his agent a long time ago now, saying Michael was interested in doing something in the Zulu universe.
Michael's had a fever dream, and he's sketched out Zulu Jesus. We think you're the man to do it.
He slurred it out over a few gins, apparently.
Yeah.
But that's apparently how you know that he's really into it.
That's how they came up with the Italian job.
Yeah. So,
small cars.
So I got the letter, and then, obviously, I mean, Zulu Jesus, you can kind of figure out where I took it. But Michael, I mean, a lot of it was, I worked with Michael very closely.
You did work very close. You became very firm friends, didn't you?
Yeah, very firm friends.
Until his family stepped in. It's their inheritance, isn't
Nicholas said it was inappropriate, and, some people have that opinion.
Yeah.
But where adult babies were allowed to do that.
I would say time has been kind to you in a sense. I think it would go down better now.
What, the adult babies or the Zulu?
The Zulu Jesus.
Zulu Jesus.
I think right now that's really going to capture the actual zeitgeist.
Yeah. And now I think so. I think the time
You're on
is
BBC
right.
at Christmas.
I mean, look, Michael, it's not a secret that he's getting on in years. And so, he might struggle to do some of the physicality of the part.
It was a very physical part.
It's very... Well, I mean, a few of the people that did it on the West End didn't... I mean, I don't like to think it's because of Zulu Jesus, but people have said that they did die as a result.
I mean, some people did take their own life. That did happen quite a number of times. But I don't know how much blame could be put on you.
No. The thing that I learned, I think, ultimately, was for that role not to employ someone that was of the Christian faith.
Yeah.
Because that was the mistake I kept making.
Yeah.
Was that I was sort of out Christianitying Christianity with Zulu Jesus.
You were trying to win religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they sort of got the true flavour of Yahweh, if you like, through Zulu Jesus. And I think ultimately it was a lot. They unhinged. Yeah. It was like they'd become slightly just unhooked. Someone had unhooked the.
I mean, I think the word crisis of faith was on most of the death certificates.
Yeah. Well, certainly one of them scrawled it in his own shit, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and that's why we cast him.
Anyway, if you want to hear more about Zulu Jesus, drop us a tweet.
We can dig that one out.
Yeah, we'll dig it out. I might tidy it up for modern audiences. I don't know, I'll run it past Mike. Yeah. I can call him Mike, but it took years to even get to that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, because he's...
Not personable.
He's just got a particular taste.
Yeah.
Don't have white hair. I'm just telling you, don't have white hair.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one that's allowed to have white hair in the room. So,
But,
just a little hint. Dave touches his nose and points towards John. Anyway, so moving on. That's been fun.
Yeah. Let me just check my notes. We've done Birds of Prey. We've done Adam Neville. We've done Zulu Jesus. I think we're all done, mate. I think we're done.
I'm glad you had Zulu Jesus on the list. Yeah. That's kind of nice. Throwback.
Yeah, it
Throwback,
is.
Yeah. If only. Oh, it's Thursday. It's Thursday today. Yeah. Throwback Thursday. One from the archives.
Yeah, one for the old fans.
Welcome to the third act of the show.
Hello.
I don't know. I can do a much better accent than that. I'm just not feeling it tonight.
I mean, it's made it clear that the bad news he's received is definitely about his own health now.
He's certainly clear. A lot of the energy had gone, hadn't it? That's what really I was getting. Yeah.
He's on his knees now.
Anyway, look, thanks to Randy for introducing the act. So Act 3, John, as we said in the opener, you stepped up, you've taken a Dave week, which is actually going to rewrite almost all the rules.
Yeah.
Because suddenly you're going to move from being odd episodes to evens, and I'm going to move...
Topsy-turvy, mate.
The world's gone mad. Upside down.
It has.
Upside down.
Yes, it's one of the 7 seals, that is. that we swap round.
It certainly was one of the oracles.
Yeah, I think a leader will rise in Jerusalem, and then we're fucked.
Yeah, that's the other part of it.
Yeah.
Here comes Jon's pitch, everybody.
Hello. Okay, so little caveat with this one. I've tried to push myself a little bit in terms of writing something quite different.
Ooh.
It's been inspired. I mean, not inspired, but I was saying off mic that I've been listening to the band Skind, who do like quite strange industrial. Skynd? Yes. Yeah, and they do industrial sort of metal.
Is it definitely Skind? It's not skinned?
I'm not entirely sure, mate.
No.
I'm not entirely sure.
Where's the research?
I've so little.
Please, everybody, tweet Jon at LeManPod on Twitter. Let him know, is it skinned or skind? But you'll have to spell it phonetically because obviously that's the issue at hand, isn't it? So don't just add to the confusion.
You know what? It could be skinned because they do sing about quite bleak real things.
I mean, it just seems like it's one of these. It's like no FX.
Yes.
Right. It's like one of these. Like, oh, we're gonna or U2. We're gonna spell something but differently.
They are like U2, but they only sing
slow
about
clap.
Yeah, it's the U2 of serial killer inspired music.
And U2 are up pretty high on that list.
They are really high on that list. Yeah,
so
yeah.
that says a lot for Skind.
Yeah. We open on a young woman banging on the door of a convent in the driving rain. She slides down the door in exhaustion as it opens, and light spills out, illuminating her. She looks up wide-eyed, her face bathed in light, and she smiles warmly. That's it. That's all you got. That's all you got, mate. Are you thinking, what the fuck's this about? Convent? Young woman?
Convent's cool. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But I would just say, how do we know it's a convent?
Oh, because the woman who answers the door is a nun.
There you go.
You don't find nuns everywhere, mate.
Bloody old penguin. Hello, love. What you doing here at this time? Welcome to the convent.
Mate, stop reading my pitch out.
My version's a sort of hammer horror carry-on combo.
Yeah.
Called the convent, as it happens. Yeah.
Carry on convent. Carry on nunning. We see a different woman.
So we've had the... Sorry,
that's
this is now post-credits.
Yeah, that's post-credits. So that's just a little teaser. You know it's going to be set in a convent. That's what you know. You've got that in the bank.
Yeah, nice.
Right. We see a different woman in her early 20s coming to the same convent. So it's implied many years later, so probably visual cues to this.
Oh, okay. Time's passed.
She is called Sister Mary Ava, but she usually goes by Sister Ava as she's taken her final vows and has come to the convent of the Blood of the Holy Family, which is an inner city mission. She's introduced to her fellow sisters, including Mother Superior Bernadette, who is very friendly and greets Sister Ava kindly, but does appear to go slightly vacant a few times during their conversation. She's quite elderly, she's not quite sort of fully there, so she sort of like goes off in a distance and...
Milky eyes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go too cliche, but I do like a milky eye.
It's a milky eye, mate.
Although, I think you got to go one milky eye, because I can't remember the name of the movie, but there's a recent horror movie with a girl in a basement of maybe a nunnery, not a nunnery. Veronica, that's it.
Yeah.
And there's a nun in that with milky eyes. So we'll maybe have to
lessen the milk.
Maybe I don't know, like a really protruding vein on her forehead or something. Something just to throw you off a touch.
Yeah. Something you kind of go, oh gosh, she's not alright.
One milky eye and the vein.
Sister Ava is also introduced to her roommate, Sister Rose, who is quite young but clearly excited to have a new friend and a new roommate. The whole first day is one of bright sunlight and cheer as she's shown her various daily duties, which include cooking for the soup kitchen and mending clothes to be given to the homeless. She gets told that she should meet Sister Ariel when she returns, as she will love her. Her love is what keeps this convent together, particularly since Mother Superior Bernadette is becoming increasingly absent. So that's all you get. You just get a kind of rough idea what the mission does. It's very much the case for the homeless, and that Sister Ariel is somebody significant.
Do we know where it's set?
In a city in America, I was thinking. So
fair enough.
Yeah, somewhere where you've got...
As previously discussed, they're all the same.
They're all the same.
Pick one out of a hat.
Yeah, it could be LA, could be, Mississippi.
Okay. Well, look, hey, let's just move past that.
Or Seattle. Interchangeable.
A state, a city, whatever you like, all the same.
Could even be in fucking Canada, mate.
Oh, jeez.
Could be anywhere.
America Junior. No, I'm kidding.
America's hat.
I don't think we get a Canadian listener as much as I love Canada.
No, yeah. You were there for a while, weren't you?
I used to live there, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful part of the world. I used to spend a lot of time with Michael out there for when we were doing Zulu Jesus.
Yeah.
A lot of work. Well, because he had to do a lot of kung fu training for it.
He did, yeah.
I mean, I can say that now. I couldn't say that at the time because I was
really hush-hush.
I was under embargo,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, you all signed NDAs, didn't you?
NDAs up to the hilt.
Yeah, because the press were quite interested in it. Right?
Everyone was all over it. Everyone was all over it for reasons that I didn't need to even bother explaining. Yeah. It was called Zulu Jesus, and Michael Caine was playing a ethnically accurate Jesus, but a Zulu version.
Yeah.
In the near future.
A few days later, Sister Ava is awoken in her room by a noise. In the pitch black, she sees a shape crouching on the floor in prayer. Her breath catches in her throat, and the figure raises its head to reveal a beautiful middle-aged nun. Ava switches on the light, and the crouching nun smiles broadly with tears running down her cheeks. She moves quickly from the floor towards Ava and squeezes her in a hug. As she sobs and laughs, she exclaims that she is so excited that her family has grown once again, and that she is Sister Ariel, and she would love Ava like no other until she goes to God.
Sister Ava needs to already... I don't like it. I don't
it's
like
a red
it
flag,
if I'm
isn't it?
Sister
It's a red
Ava.
flag,
It's
mate.
flagging all over the shop.
An over-friendly nun. We've all been there. Ariel, laughing joyfully, holds on to her for a long time until Ava says that she's tired, because she's obviously slightly awkward with this entire encounter. Ariel lets go of her and suggests that they offer a quick prayer to thank God for each other. Ariel looks intensely at Ava one last time before saying that she knows Ava is different. She just doesn't know in what way yet. After this, she leaves. As Ava turns off the light, she sees Sister Rose's frightened face staring at her before she quickly turns over. Sister Ava goes to say something, but decides against it for now, because it's a late hour.
Right, so she's sharing a room with another sister, Sister Rosa.
Yeah, she turns over to see Sister Rose. Sister Rose is looking like wide-eyed, awake, clutching, at the whole interaction.
Just quick mention, that's the third Ava we've now had.
It is The following day, Sister Ava is preparing the donated clothes alongside Sister Rose. Rose seems happy and chats about how this kind of work is so useful and fulfilling. Outside the window, Ava sees that Mother Superior is sitting in a courtyard outside with her legs spread out in front of her. Sort of like a toddler almost, just sitting there, just squatting in the middle of the thing.
Unnerving.
It is unnerving. I mean, a lot of this, the actual tension would be in the direction more than anything else.
Yeah.
Sister
the burden's on the director. Not your fucking problem.
Fucking hell, mate. If I'm a player,
I've seen you before. You walk up holding the script at arm's length in between your finger and your thumb.
Yeah.
And you just drop it like a smelly nappy and walk off.
And the pages aren't numbered or attached to each other. So they can work it out.
Drops in a huge flurry, a mess. No, that's you. That's you. I'm done.
I'm finished for the day.
Money's in the bank, mate.
Yeah. Okay, so Sister Ava points out that Bernadette seems quite happy out there because she's just sitting in the sunlight, sort of happy. Sister Rose goes to look and panics, saying that she's been doing this a lot, sometimes even at night. She takes Ava's hands and says that they should go outside and bring her in. Clearly the Mother Superior is unwell, and all the nuns know this. By the time they arrive, Sister Ariel has already begun to lead Bernadette away. Ava attempts to stop her by saying that she'll call an ambulance or some kind of doctor to get her checked out, because she's clearly vacant. She's just sort of there.
And the Mother Superior is the one with one milky eye in the vein?
With the milky eye, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, old milk eye.
Old milk eye vein.
Yeah.
Or maybe a veiny eye.
Yeah, or cream peepers.
I tell you what, fucking burst blood vessel in an eye can look really...
Just basically,
something.
Worryingly.
Yeah, like a conjoined twin.
Like a conjoined twin.
I mean, no, not that that's worrying. I mean, like something like a conjoined twin.
I mean, whenever you try to describe a conjoined twin, you always go, like an old nun.
Like an old nun's shoulder from a horror movie.
The interchangeable thing.
Yeah.
I'm always mixing them up. By the time they arrive, Sister Ariel has already begun to lead Bernadette away. Ava attempts to stop her by saying that she'll call an ambulance or some kind of doctor. But Sister Ariel assures her that they are family and they can look after Mother Superior just fine. This leads to a tense confrontation which clearly upsets Rose, so Ava backs down. So Ava's like, no, seriously, we need to do something about this. And they're like, no, we know what we're doing. And Rose is clearly panicked and is... Yeah. She's like, all right, I'll step away from the situation.
Is this modern day, the setting?
Modern day, yes. It's still modern day. So we get more scenes establishing the routine of the nunnery. The Mother Superior often wanders the corridors, and either Sister Ariel or another one of the senior nuns makes sure she returns to her quarters. At least once a month, the bishop arrives to oversee the work there and check in on things. Excuses are made for Mother Superior, and Sister Ariel takes the lead on these occasions. When it comes to dinner, it is just the assembled nuns, during which Ariel often gives sermons while they eat. So she kind of stands on a chair and just kind of gives sermons to all of the nuns. She talks of the meaning of their family and their love. She says that their love is direct from God, as he is their husband and father. And as long as they have his love in their heart, then everything they do will come directly from him. Sister Ariel speaks cryptically of sacrifice and that they are all disconnected from God while they are alive, with only his love as a connection. Like
Blended cats.
Yes.
Sorry, sacrifice.
Like a string in a maze that will one day return them to him. She demands that they never try to join God themselves, for that will lead them to hell. They will return to him when there's nothing more for them to do, and that is not yet. Sister Ariel also tells them that she knows the way for them to return to God, and she will make sure no one stops them. So
nice.
Already
Weird.
a little bit like, this is why this happens.
It's like, big red flags.
Yeah.
I was going to ask at the beginning of that bit, are they normal? Is she saying normal kind of sermon-y stuff, or is it sort of crazy?
It's normal, but there's an edge.
You already answered that question?
Yeah.
She's obviously gone a bit something more PC. I don't know. She's obviously had a couple of chairs knocked over in the attic.
Yeah, I think I've put down here donkey brained. I think that's the
that's there.
Oh,
I was trying to be
right
euphemistic with the attic and the chairs, but donkey brained. Mm-hmm.
Sister Ava attempts to speak to Sister Rose about the sermons on many occasions, but is always rebuffed. She's like, "Oh, that's quite intense. So what's this about?"
Yeah, what's the whole you don't try and join God yourself
exactly,
about? What's that?
Yes. So until one day, Sister Ava directly asks Sister Rose why Ariel tells them not to try and join God themselves. She asks what she means by this and why she repeats it so much. Rose mutters that there have been sisters who have found their calling too taxing, too difficult. Through this conversation, Ava discovers that over the years there have been a number of suicides at the convent. Although this is explained away as the community work is particularly emotionally taxing, due to the savage poverty and hardship they constantly see every day. So it's a particularly trying mission to be in.
Yeah.
You just
there's a viable rationale for why people might find it too much. Yeah, got it.
Sister Ava is horrified. The work is difficult, but they do reach so many. That doesn't really make sense because they are nuns and they are prepared for this sort of thing. Rose offers no more answers. Over time, the sermons increase in length as Sister Ariel repeats their love for each other and God. And through that love, God's will is shown. Sometimes she speaks for so long that the food is completely cold before they are permitted to eat. Although with increasing frequency, many of the nuns stop eating altogether in the evenings, as the emotional toll of Sister Ariel's speeches leave them exhausted. So they're becoming so enraptured and so focused that any thought of anything else sort of like leaves them.
So Ariel is not the head nun. The head nun's milky eye, bloody eye bonkers.
Cream peepers, yeah. She's the one who's... But Sister
Raspberry peepers. Milky and a bloody.
Yeah.
One milky, one blood.
No, go for it, mate.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just pick a mix, isn't it?
So Sister Ariel's taken on more sort of control of the place because there is...
Right, and so the other senior nuns...
are all now beginning to defer to her.
So the exec nuns are deferring to Ariel.
You're real hench nuns at this point. Yeah. So you would get more of that. Because to be fair...
So they are almost Ariel's hench nuns.
Yeah. So real goons.
Yeah. You mean noons. It's so bad.
Well done.
No, thank God. On the face of it, everybody's nice and supportive as you would expect, and yet there's a sort of a weird tone that's coming out, both behaviourally and in the sermons.
Exactly, there's a real tension.
In sort of certain scenarios. Yeah.
Eventually, Sister Ava decides to talk to Sister Ariel directly and tell her that her sermons are causing too much distress for the other nuns, that she sort of is actually taking a toll on them. However, Sister Ariel is increasingly difficult to reach as more fanatical sisters tell her that Sister Ariel needs to rest during the day and should not be disturbed. So they start to take the reins from her as well. Ava tries to tell them of superior concerns, but her decline in mental and physical health makes this a waste of time, essentially. She's barely present at this point. So she's maybe just sitting in the garden still, and she's trying to say to her, like, I'm not sure this is a healthy environment right now. I think some sisters are struggling, and she's not necessarily blaming her, but she's kind of like, she's not helping this already difficult mission. She's
frustrated because the Mother Superior is in a position, theoretically,
to do something about it.
And isn't, because she's all milky, bloody-eyed.
Exactly.
And out of a box on something.
She's out of a box. Yeah.
She's out of a box.
Sister Ava manages to communicate with the bishop during one of his visits. With the help of Sister Rose, she frantically tells him that Ariel is becoming a kind of zealot, and it may not be healthy for her or her other sisters. The bishop asks for any kind of evidence of this, and Ava sort of tells him about the sermons, which preach love, family, and their connection to God. And this the bishop laughs and points out that they are nuns and says exactly what they should believe and that's what they should do. She leaves her saying that Ava should question why she's finding that so worrying, and maybe she should question her own faith instead of trying to blame a very capable nun who he's far concerned.
Classic bishop.
Classic bishop. Passing the buck bishop. Moving diagonally
No, I was
bishop.
going to say, hey,
Yeah.
Bishop tonight 7.
Yeah. Later that day, she sees Aaron and the bishop talking. The bishop says something unheard to Ariel and laughs. He's clearly telling her about
I
Ava's.
see.
And he's kind of going, you never guess what one of your said to me.
Yeah.
Just saying that, and then he's just laughing it off. But Ariel stares at Ava. So clearly she's not happy with what's just happened. That night, Sister Ava stirs in her sleep and she sees that Rose's bed is empty. She quietly calls her friend and creeps around the convent to find her. All the other beds are empty. Eventually she hears noises and sobbing from the courtyard. So quietly she makes her way there. All her fellow sisters are standing around someone in the garden. Flickering candlelight illuminates Sister Ariel's weeping face. Ava moves to a better position and sees a naked Sister Rose heaving with sobs as she beats herself. All the nuns are sort of like crying almost and swaying around her. Droplets of blood cover the floor all around her, but in the twinkling of sparse light. She runs to try and stop her friend, but Rose begs her to let her continue, as she needs to show her love for her family and God. Ava calls in horror and catches Sister Ariel's gaze, who just stares at her while joyful tears flow freely down her cheeks. Over the next few days, Ava is completely isolated from her fellow sisters. Even Sister Rose, who's known to be haggard and pale, now keeps her distance. The sermons have become more intense as Ariel preaches about how she will guide their family back to God's love, and that she will try to save as many people as possible from this wicked world.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all getting a bit much, isn't it? I hope this one's not too long. This is a long one.
No, this is good. We're all built up and ready now. It's all... I can't wait.
Okay, I mean, the next bit... The next bit is... it's a lot.
Ooh.
The intensity increases until the day of the next soup kitchen, when people start to react badly to the food. They double over in pain and start to vomit blood violently, choking to death.
Fuck.
Panic grips the whole soup kitchen as the choking sounds of the dying homeless become deafening. The nuns who are present back away from the horror. So they just sort of move away with no real reaction to this. We pull back to see the carnage as the hall of the soup kitchen is littered with the bodies of the people the nuns were meant to help. Ava looks on in horror as Sister Rose looks her straight in the eyes and eats some of the now clearly poisoned food. So the food itself has been poisoned.
Awesome.
Sister Rose's eyes are strained with lack of sleep and exhaustion as she trembles while chewing the tainted food. Ava tries her best to make Rose be sick, but she still sadly dies in her arms. The police arrive and question everybody, and it becomes clear that Rose poisoned the food, and the wounds all over her body make her appear like a fanatic. So they're just kind of going, this nun has just basically lost her mind.
Yeah.
So it's all blamed on her, essentially. It takes days to clear away the blood and the bodies and the ruined food and the vomit and all the other kind of gross stuff.
All the nonsense.
All the nonsense, indeed. They search and clear Rose's room, and the Mother Superior is also removed from the convent due to her decline in health and lack of oversight. The bishop temporarily puts Aaron in charge as the media swarm outside the convent, looking to find out more about the merciless sister who murdered so many poor and homeless. That may be the darkest scene I've ever written. It's quite dark.
Very dark.
I was worried about it.
Hey, but look, you've killed more kids in one movie already than you have just adults in this one. Yeah. Poor or otherwise.
Exactly.
So,
I'm alright, aren't I?
Not that dark.
My hands are clean.
I mean, there was a scene in Education of Ellis,
yes.
episode 11, where you literally killed 16 children in one single scene at the same time.
I'm thinking this. I think it's because it's the most, because it's like vulnerable being done by.
No, I mean, I'm being morbidly glib, surprisingly.
Ava becomes increasingly paranoid as she is now constantly alone in an almost empty room. Every night she can hear her fellow nuns walking the corridors outside her room and disturbing her sleep. So there's a sort of sense that they're purposely trying to, in shifts almost, trying to stop her from sleeping because she's now an outsider completely now. Also, the self-flagellation appears to be increasing as many of the nuns now seem pallid and in pain. One of Ariel's senior follows bleeds through a habit and collapses in front of Ava, but is quickly sort of like taken away. She stops attending the sermons and misses meal times, taking quick bites to eat whenever she can. Although since the massacre, all their charity work has been obviously ceased, so the daily routine has been abandoned in favour of Sister Ariel's relentless preaching and praying. The nuns make cross signs and mutter prayers whenever she goes to approach them. They are becoming clearly hostile and almost fearful of her. Also, the soup kitchen is still off limits as a crime scene, As the investigation still appears to be ongoing, it only increases the mood of like paranoia in the convent. So now it's a very strange atmosphere. This builds until one night, so we're going to get into sort of third act really. So a lot of this you would build up scenes of increasing tension and increasing alienation and everything else.
We're following Ava very closely and therefore we're very close to her experience and we're feeling that tension build.
Exactly, I think with this one it's so much about the mood because it's essentially one setting that I think, because I was toying about whether you should see scenes away from her, but I think it's important that she's the POV the whole time in this one. So it builds until one night, so there's constant tensions that's been going over the last few days while the convent's still sort of on lockdown almost. When Ava is violently dragged from her room by the other nuns and brought before Sister Ariel in the chapel. She desperately tries to appeal to her captors, but they ignore her completely. Their eyes blankly staring ahead. Sister Ariel is in mid-sermon as she's telling her followers that Sister Rosa's heroic sacrifice to bring so many poor souls back to God at the expense of her own eternal life was beautiful, but sadly it may bring down the whole convent and their entire mission. This is proof that the devil controls the world outside the convent, as those who try to help are treated this badly. She shouts that soon they will all be taken away and that the paradise will be taken away from them if they're not strong enough to resist. Ava is dragged into the aisle before Ariel, who points at her as an example of one such enemy who's made it impossible for their good work here to continue. Ariel demands that Ava beat herself to show her family that she knows she has done wrong. Ava refuses and struggles to try and escape, causing Ariel to strike her forcefully with a candlestick. Ava falls to the floor, her head bleeding, and as she dips in out of consciousness, she sees Ariel standing over her, shouting and screaming to her congregation. She cannot hear what is being said, but Ariel is practically foaming at the mouth with intensity. Her eyes are wild with excitement. As Ava's hearing returns, she can hear Ariel telling the nuns they need to hurry as the devil is coming for them, to stop them doing what they need to do. She rants that they need to save each other because if they are saved only themselves, then God would deny them. So she's basically saying you can't kill yourselves, you have to kill each other because suicide's a sin. So she's basically saying you need to look after each other. You need to get yourselves out of this.
And am I right in thinking that, just so I'm on the right thread, she intentionally wanted Rose to kill all the homeless people? Because that's her taking them to God when she wants them to go to God. Got it.
She rants they need to save each other because if they save them themselves, God would deny them. It takes Ava a few minutes to realise that Ariel is commanding the nuns to kill each other. As she does, the most fanatical of Ariel's followers immediately descend on those sisters who are clearly more doubtful. So the ones at the back who were there still, but maybe they aren't like the inner circle. And then they fall upon them mercilessly, essentially, and they just beat them to death, essentially. The nuns at the back scream. Some attempt to escape while others face their insane sisters. Either way, they're cruelly and brutally murdered. Sister Ariel's followers stand over the bodies of their former sisters, panting with exertion, the habit stained with blood, and the fanatics turn on each other violently like starving dogs, and we cut away from the carnage as blood pools on the floor of the chapel. It laps against Ava's legs and feet. As Sister Ariel begins to be weeping tears of pure joy at the slaughter as Ava lifts herself up. Ava tries to wrestle the bloody candlestick from Ariel, but she's still groggy from her head wound, so there's a little bit of a kind of a scuffle and everything else. Yet she manages to overpower Ariel, who first falls to the floor and looks up at Ariel, smiling broadly, like she was in the opening. And she says that she's pleased that her sister will help her return to their father, God, and that Sister Ava is doing God's work. With police sirens sounding off in the distance, the beaten and bleeding Ava utters a short prayer and brings a candlestick down on Sister Ariel. And that's the end.
Oh, tasty.
Yeah, what do you think? I tried to do something a bit different with this one.
Welcome to Act 4, y'all.
Hello.
Yeah, man, look, I mean, I feel like, first of all, congrats on what I think I could say is our first cult. Would you call it a cult? Our first cult movie.
Definitely cool. I mean, there was a really big influence in this. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The main influence was Jim Jones. I'm not going to beat around the bush.
James to his non-friends.
Yeah, yes.
James Jones.
Yeah, Jimmy to me and you.
Yeah.
We got out there quick, didn't we? Luck was on our side. It was definitely an influence because I really liked the fanaticism. I
really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I think there's a lot of great horror movies that have nuns and convents, and so it's conjuring loads of movies that I really liked, but it was different to all of them. Yeah, and so great. Yeah, loved it.
Oh, thank you. In an environment like that, when faith and connection becomes so key, it seems so vulnerable. Because in this, I was quite careful to make sure that Ariel was the real deal. Like, it wasn't for sex, wasn't for money, wasn't for drugs. She was a fanatic.
I think that's fine, man. I think, look, any belief system can be exploited.
Yeah, that was the
whether
point.
It's religious or otherwise. So I think that's totally fair territory
I would never want to do like an anti-religious thing, because also I wanted to make the difference between...
God forbid.
No.
I mean, no. If anything, you've been nothing but reverent of all religions since we started this podcast. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Johnny Ghandi. Second Ghandi reference. Pour one out for the big man.
That was the sequel, wasn't it?
Pour one out for the big man.
Starring Johnny Ghandi.
Yeah, it's his rogue nephew. He learned some lessons.
He's out for revenge.
Yeah. Fuck, I would watch that.
Again, he's old now, but I feel like that's the kind of thing that after Zulu Jesus had such input and interest from him that Mike might want to...
I think Kane would be the perfect person to play a kind of Force Ghost version of Mahatma. To like offer wise words at the lowest ebb of the movie when everyone's against Jonny.
Yeah.
And he needs someone to get him through it. And Kane comes up as Ghandi.
I think because with Michael Caine that for a role like that he just would get that subtlety just right.
He would.
Just right.
He would commit.
Yeah. It's treading a tightrope, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially with the cultural implications of casting him as Gandhi's nephew?
Yeah,
I've forgotten already.
I mean, to be fair, you're quite right. You would have to expect the audience to suspend disbelief because Kane's a lot taller than Ghandi. So that would be, there's a certain amount. You'd have the audience to come with you on this.
Yeah. And he's certainly just a bit more filled out.
He is
well,
a bit
isn't
more,
he?
Ghandi, notoriously a bit of a...
Picky eater.
He's a real featherweight, wasn't he?
Yeah, but was he featherweight or bantamweight? I can't remember. I did. I used to follow him, though, when he was... I went to all his fights.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he? Good, quick.
Very fast.
Yeah.
It's like Dalston. Do you remember?
I just to make it clear, I am distancing myself from that comparison immediately.
Oh man, I'm going to have to cut that.
Oh no, keep it in. The people should know.
People should know. Right, look, is it that? Yeah, okay, I suppose that is bad. Is that bad? It's bad.
I don't think it's bad.
I said he was like Dalston. I didn't say he was Dalston. Huh?
In what way?
Well, they're both from India.
Okay, yeah. Stretchy.
Well, I was commenting on his fighting abilities, wasn't I? So it's that's a second parallel.
Yeah.
So not that. Maybe I'll leave it in.
Ghandi had a
maybe I'll leave it in. I'll do a few test screenings.
Yeah.
Or audio test screenings, obviously. We just have, when we do them in a cinema, but we just have it on the screen. We show a big picture of me and you.
Yeah.
Looking critically at the audience.
And judging them.
We stand there and we're like, do you want to see a test screening of the next Hollywood blockbuster? Yeah. And everyone's like, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
And then one better when they get in there.
Hollywood Surrey.
Because we don't want it obviously getting out, do we? We couldn't be like, you want to listen to an episode of Let's Make a Horror Movie.
Yeah. It'll draw all the crowd.
Because it would get out, wouldn't it?
It would be like the fucking Beatles, mate.
Anyway.
So yeah, I was trying to do something a bit different with this one. I had the idea for quite a while. It's an isolated lifestyle anyway. The idea of being in a city but being isolated was also a bit of a factor there as well. Also as well the fact that I wanted to have them hurting the most vulnerable, which would be the homeless.
Yeah.
I thought that would be quite a scary sort of realisation. One of the main aspects of the story that I think I would like, if ever in a movie people would walk out of the auditorium questioning, is that essentially the whole movie is basically Sister Ariel killing herself. That the whole thing is her.
Yeah, it's her trying to get killed.
Yeah,
she doesn't want to kill herself, as you've quite rightly made clear.
Yeah. She is grooming Sister Ava from the get-go to be the one who kills her because she thinks, I've got a way out here.
I think it was a huge debt to Nuns on the Run.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that and Sister Act loom large.
I mean, I think probably could get Robbie Coltrane in. Eric Idle might be pushing it.
Yeah.
Get Cracker involved. Bit of a 90s throwback reference for anyone there.
There was actually a different aspect to that, because so the Ariel, as a name, means Lioness of God. And nuns pick their own name. So nuns will often call themselves a name that has significance for their life.
I didn't know that, actually. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I would go, I think, if I was a nun,
Yeah.
and, hey, look, write in, tell us what you think.
You'd be Sister Big Balls, wouldn't you?
No, I'd be Sister Rodimus Prime. After Rodimus Prime.
Yeah, of course.
From Transformers the movie.
The thing is, though, I mean, it'd be hard when they're calling out your name because lots of nuns would turn.
Yeah, it's a common one. It is a common one.
It's like Mary, Rodimus Prime.
It's like Mary, yeah.
I did also have a slight...
I mean, now you've made me feel contrived because I picked like the Smith of nuns names.
I mean, there's a lot of nuns out there tutting.
Yeah. And a lot of nuns listening to this thinking, are they taking the piss out of my name?
Yeah.
And the answer to that is no.
No, purely referential.
I'd also accept Sister Unicron, but it needs to be specific to the whatever 1986 movie.
Yeah,
so like none of the other characters that appear in other things.
Which I don't think all faiths actually accept that as canon. So you'd have to really be certain parts of the church. You could be like a Presbyterian referencing that.
Yeah, that's true. They're
purely bayheads.
A Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah, they're all about modern ones.
Because on the seventh day, Unicron destroyed the Earth.
You can't move the Sister Bumblebees in those churches.
See, no, Bumblebees is one of the ones that appears multiple times. You've got. I'd accept.
I embarrass myself with my non-knowledge. I'm not religious. I don't know.
Well, Rodimus Prime is basically Jesus 2.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know what else.
Yeah.
That pretty much says it all.
Yeah.
So there's you can say I've got a theme, obviously, with Jesus 2, Zulu Jesus, and so on. It's very much my thing as an auteur. I think,
and as a nun.
Like Kubrick, a lot of people remember him for like his technical and obviously his team's work on Steadicam technology.
Yeah, a perfectionist.
Whereas I really think I'll be remembered for the split in the church. That came about.
Yeah, the real schism.
Because of, is it Hot Rod or is it Rodimus Prime? Because technically he's the same person, but after he opens the Matrix, you see, in the movie, he becomes Rodimus Prime.
Of course.
Very much like Jesus dying and returning from the dead.
And
so, is it the same Jesus?
Yeah.
What did he see on the other side?
It's a bit like that thing with a broom, if you change a handle in a bush so much. Is it the same broom?
Is it the same? Exactly.
Yeah. Same with Jesus.
Like, for all we know, in that cave, right, behind that stone door, we're like, 1 billion exactly the same Jesuses. like just clones as far as the eye could see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And or a portal through to another dimension.
A bit like that planet in Attack of the Clones. But Jesus.
But Jesuses. Yeah. Or all just different folk, and the one that looked like Jesus just happened to be the first one to walk out. After someone opened the stone.
It's just like mutants.
Well, no, it could have been, a guy with a Mohican haircut.
I'm thinking like
Mohawk. What do they call it? It's a Mohawk. Mohican?
Yeah.
Mohawk?
Yeah, a Mohican.
Yeah, is it?
No, it's a Mohawk.
Mohawk.
But Mohicans stereotypically have them.
Okay.
So
anyway.
The one thing I really wanted with Sister Ariel...
Yeah.
Seamless. Is that I wanted her to be quite beautiful. She would take attention. Do you know what I mean? And in a place like
a glamorous nun.
Yeah. So but not like made up and stuff, but just like very charismatic and quite sort of a large personality, but also quite stunningly attractive as well.
Like a peacock.
Like a peacock. I mean, you could maybe even try casting a peacock and see where it goes.
I don't know. You can't cast a peacock as a nun.
No, I suppose not.
Because nuns will complain.
Peacocks be too happy.
Peacocks would be glad of the work. Frankly, we'll be climbing over each other to play a nun.
Yeah.
But in fairness, you would need probably 8 to 10 on top of each other.
What I don't like is when you have a peacock-based movie and they cast a non-peacock actor to basically feather up. And that is very offensive to me.
Well, the peacocks are always chirping in my ear about that.
No, but I'm rightly so, to be honest, mate. Rightly so. They've got a real axe to grind on that. So that was a detail in casting.
Names.
The working title, and this cannot be the title,
Peacock Nuns.
was Bad Habits.
Oh.
That cannot be the title.
Bad Habits Die Hard.
Bruce Willis pops up. That's the name of the file that I wrote.
Yeah. You can just call it Habitual.
Yeah. Habitual's pretty good. Order's Mission, not a bad name.
Mission's not bad.
Feathery Nuns. Peacocking Sisters.
Blood-Eye Nun.
Blood-Eye Nun. It's like Cotton Eye Joe.
How much? None. But none N-U-N.
Yeah. I mean, like, how many men are in it? None. I mean,
there's a lot of homeless men that you kill.
And the bishop.
Well, yeah, we never see him again.
Yeah, no, he's just a little side character.
Moved sideways, didn't he?
Yeah.
Checkmate.
Yeah. I thought there's too many bishop-centric films out there. I don't want to make this another one.
That's
It's
it.
story that's been told.
The Nunnery.
Sometimes the inspiration that you pull out the air, mate.
Nuns without guns. You gotta throw stuff at the wall, John, and see what hits. Nun cult.
That's for the real donkey brain market. You would have to. That name would work.
I'm sorry, what market?
You would.
The donkey brain market. I'm loving this new thing. And we can say that with impunity, can't we? So it literally can't be taken the wrong way by anyone. Yeah. Bloody donkey brains. DBs.
Belong in a sanctuary.
Nuns go crazy.
Someone stop that nun.
Stop and my nun will shoot.
Stop and my nun will preach.
Yeah, murder, death, preach.
Yeah.
None of the above.
Nonsense. I mean, we both know.
The harder they nun.
The bigger they are, the harder they nun. That's really good.
If you tell it Australia, I like the title Nuns Down Under.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's right for this film.
I think...
Not as you've written it.
Oh no, yeah, that picture's in there, but this is not what I focused on. I think if you want to create an angry audience, you call it Nuns Down Under and then throw them that.
Okay. We'll have to write Nuns Down Under now for our other podcast, 80s comedies.
Yeah.
Let's make an 80s comedy pitch or something. I don't know. I can't remember what we call it.
We are still workshopping. We've been doing it for 2 years.
Okay. One of the good nuns.
A few good nuns.
A few good nuns.
Yeah.
Nun 2, 3.
No Country for Old Nun.
Nun Country for Old Nuns. No.
What is nun?
Horror movie?
Just keep it simple, mate.
Dude.
Oh,
alright, well, it sounds like, in all seriousness, I guess Mission is still a front runner.
I've wasted 10 minutes of the audience's time.
Hey, I'm enjoying myself.
I've been very fun.
I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah. If you guys got any better names,
yes,
throw them at us.
Oh, and that or ideas for the, contribute to the pitch.
Yeah.
Change it.
Yeah, there's plenty of room there.
What did you like? What did you not like?
Yeah.
Is it unsettling now that John's doing all the even episodes and Dave's doing all the odds?
How do you feel about that?
Well, is it also unsettling that Dave's just started referring to himself in the third person and asking himself rhetorical questions?
Yeah, it's gotten very tense in the room.
Hasn't it got weird? It got weird?
Good to see Sonic, as I said. But,
Great, oh yeah. They put back his gloves?
He didn't have
shoes. Gloves.
He didn't have gloves, he had tiny little weird hands.
Well, just hands.
Yeah. I think any hand can be creepy, depending on context. But these hands were creepy regardless of context.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I remember this is not new, is it? Because I remember a lot of people boycotted Return of the Jedi, famously global boycotts, because famously Luke only had a glove on one hand, and people wanted both hands gloved.
Yeah.
Do you remember? And it was just the reason that didn't happen was because they obviously didn't have CGI.
Of course.
At the time. They weren't going to reshoot all the film, put another glove back on. And again, a lot of people thought it was a sort of tacit endorsement of Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
as well. So that was, then that was controversial.
Yeah, the whole one glove look has really faded now, hasn't it? It's lost its
steam.
You
don't see a lot. Well, leather gloves in general. I mean, they do,
Yeah.
obviously, Jacko's glove was a mirror, but Luke's glove was a leather glove.
Yeah.
Like a leather driving glove or something. Well, I say leather. I mean, they don't have cows, so
It's odd though that although his looks got out of fashion, his crimes haven't. So
wait, Luke or Jacko?
No,
Yeah,
Luke's crimes.
Yeah, I mean, what's he done?
He killed his dad, didn't he? He
did he?
He
did the Emperor.
No,
killed
I suppose
him.
no. You're right.
Emperor killed him.
No, you're right. He did. He saved him, didn't he? He saved him famously
with one glove.
Yeah,
and this is where the controversy
Think
lies.
what he could have done if he had had two gloves, though.
I know there's a lot of countries where it's actually really offensive to show you touching a man's helmet with a bare hand.
No, I mean, to be fair, the glove does add an extra level of excitement to the proceeding.
No, my God, you've just sexualized it. I mean, this is a cultural thing. It's like a traditional thing.
Yeah.
In many countries, it's well known. So I won't name any of many countries. And if you touching a helmet, like in this case Darth Vader's helmet, but it could be any kind of helmet, polo helmet, for example, or a go-kart helmet.
Does that have to? I mean, like a purple helmet.
Any kind of helmet.
Any kind of helmet.
And and it's considered awful. It's height of bad taste to touch that said helmet with a bare hand.
I can't imagine a country
gotta be gloved
that would have the "don't touch a man's helmet" rule and also have go-karting. They seem to be like, if you're cavalier about touching helmets, you also have go-karting. They don't seem to, you know what I mean?
Were you suggesting that you can't have like a fun environment if you're not allowed to touch a man's... You can touch a man's helmet, but it has to be gloved hands. And that's the point. So the controversy the protests came from the fact that only one of his hands was gloved, and he touched the helmet.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You just don't do that.
No, I suppose you don't.
I knew enough at the time.
Yeah.
I remember thinking...
And you
fucking barehanded.
You can't get your hand off an helmet.
He's barehanded his helmet.
I remember your angry text about it.
He's barehanded it. It's outrageous. So there you go.
Yeah, we all learn a little bit.
Star Wars fans, it's a little known fact, that one. It's one of the ones...
It's from one of the novels, isn't it?
No, it happened in the real world. Were you suggesting it was the sort of novel where it was somehow set on Earth in a reality very similar to our own, where there were mass global protests about Return of the Jedi having only one hand, one gloved hand,
because
bare-handing a helmet.
What they don't cover in the films is that the films exist in the universe. The books cover it, but they always cut it. There's an odd reference.
You never see that in the movies. But I tell you what you don't see as well is you never see, and this is a legacy from that, is that you will never ever see again in any of the Star Wars films anyone barehanding anyone else's helmet.
God.
Anyway, so. If you have a better new turn of phrase than barehanding a helmet,
or any thoughts on the pitch,
or any thoughts on the pitch, or anything else,
anything,
or any episode, drop us an email. Let's make horror movie @gmail.com, or tweet us at LamahMpod, LMAHM pod. Catch us on Instagram, blah and check out Boys on Bond, Big Questions,
Soaking the Boards. You know what?
There was one from earlier this episode though, I can't remember what it was now.
Oh God. But Dave's Proverbs, I think.
Oh yeah.
Proverbs and phrases.
New Proverbs with David John.
Yeah, Proverbs of David John.
There was like a little ad for it, wasn't it? Because I did one.
Yeah. Quite professional. Yeah, check any of those out. Give support to this new venture. This is what we're trying to get off the ground.
Have a look at any of them if you like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, most importantly, just come back.
I mean, the dream is to get this as big as Proverbs.
We can get as big as that.
It's got some numbers.
It's got some big... I mean, the advertisers on that alone. We got Lockheed Martin.
Yeah. We had Stephen Fry last week.
We've got Monsanto on there. They're advertisers. I mean, we're talking...
Yeah, we're doing
We're talking big... We're Shell.
Yeah.
Get a lot of money from Shell.
All of them have distanced themselves from this endeavour.
Yes.
Which is a
they
shame.
don't know why.
No, don't
know why. But there you go.
Yeah.
If you want to hear more about Zulu Jesus,
rate and review us on iTunes.
Please rate us and review us on something if you haven't already.
Yeah, please do. It's always thankful for it.
Yeah, we're always thankful for it.
We're
always thankful for it.
Yeah, we're always thankful for it.
Yeah. Let's make a horror movie, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.